So in case you are curious, this is the standard combo and pretty much the win condition. You drink a potion, give yourself a shield, give yourself the power of sacrifice, and then you go in, use bug, and headshot, headshot, dead. Way more fun to play in my opinion than the cringe curse and run away forever build. No offense if you like that by the way, but damn, I hate this build. Are you ready for round 2? Power of sacrifice. And if possible, on the way there, before you draw your weapon, you curse them with a curse of pain. This is the equivalent of a fighter shooting the crossbow before they engage. And I forgot to use my skill for some reason. But here comes the parry. Pretty cool. And he goes down. I can hear the chicken noise intensify. I know you're around here. And there is one guy and there is another. You can't transform when I'm on top of you, Mr. Chicken. A little bit of spacing with the panther. And the panther goes down. Now the thing with the hybrid warlock is that unlike barbarian, you need like 3-4 seconds to prepare before a fight. And once your buffs run out, they are going to run at you. So you need to be very mindful of the way you space yourself in fights. I like to pretend I'm actually using the Curse of Pain to use the power of sacrifice on myself. It usually gives me 1 second more. One parry goes in. He jumps on the box, which is very nice, but he's panicking a little bit and he hits the wall and then he dies to the goblin. Here comes my 124 bis, demigod player by the way. It's always funny to me when people say gear matters that much. Like all those matches I go into when I play normals, I have nothing. And I beat players with gear. I don't think I'm that extraordinarily good at the game. But when you do what you have to do at the right time and when you approach matchups the correct way, I don't think gear matters that much. And here we see an S-Team longsword gentleman, so we are going to honor the duel. Nice parry. He didn't parry off that. He didn't get the timing right. That's unfortunate. Faked out the second hit and he goes down on the third. We move down a little bit to have a second duel with a second esteemed longsword gentleman. There I hit him with my special Z longsword move and he goes down. I am missing most of my hits in this fight because my dexterity is so high because of the armor I found on the barbarian before. I'm not used to it. So, first world problems, I guess. Now the question is, can you fight 2 people 2-on-1 with this setup? Let's find out. A little bit of spacing there, and that's the first teamer going down. Second one's panicking. Oh, I'm afraid of the bear. But it seems like the bear is more afraid of the longsword, and there goes the rat. Now, for some reason, they had inventories full of unique items, and they were trading them with one another. I asked around, apparently people do this to cheese the AP system. This is totally illegal, by the way, don't do that. And I believe they got what they deserved. So I'm gonna be honest, for this game I'm pretty scared because it's 5 AM in my time zone. Only the people who are very passionate about the game, let's put it this way. Only the passionate players are playing at this time, and they run pretty good gear, and my gear is terrible. So I die in 2 hits, but there I stand on top of the boxes. So it goes pretty okay with the POS, Power of Sacrifice, and we take down the Barbarian. Now what's funny with this build is that, again, people think that you are fragile, that you are weak, and they see you use curses and they think, okay, it's a guy who's gonna just put spells at me, and his spells don't even do damage to me. So he's weak, he doesn't have gear, he has nothing. It's time to push him. And that's pretty much the train of thought of that ranger right here. Puts 2 arrows at me, then goes in for the melee. Misses one. This is the 3rd one actually, he shouldn't have missed that one, but it's not like it would have made a difference anyways. He's another ranger, a little bit better. He's hitting his shots. I wanted at first to just rush him, but I see he's hitting his shots, so I won't try. And this is the probably lamest thing about this build. You can't fight rangers. And the only way to fight them is to use corners. That's not fun. That's not fun. You are pretty slow when you have this build. Especially with a crystal sword like that. You are pretty slow, you have only close and medium range, and you barely do any damage, so you have to play around the corners. Plus this is HR, so he hurts. With the build I'm running there, I don't have Hydra and the Drain. I still think the better build, especially with HR, is Hydra. I think this is about the last match in which I don't take High Drain. Because there I am getting destroyed, and the only thing I can do to heal up is to use bandages. Just kinda lame. So I have to play around corners even harder. Not the most fun fight, I would say. But we are trying to have a little bit of outplay moments. We're trying to clutch behind the pillar. Let's see what happens. He's getting impatient too. That's pretty much the most important thing in my opinion about solo HR. You have to be patient and you have to be careful, and this is why I play normals most of the time. I don't like being careful and patient. But I guess I should play Barbarian if I don't like to be careful and patient. But I just can't. I have to be the Dark Edgelord. Anyways, at some point I was like, maybe if I put out a campfire, he's gonna get even more impatient and he's gonna push. I don't even need to, he's opening the door and he's trying to push right now. Nope. And this is Ranger gameplay here. If you don't push a Ranger, the Ranger cannot do anything. But at the same time, you can't push the Ranger, so you can't do anything either. Barely get a hit in. What I'm doing right here is extremely unsafe and dangerous. But I am done waiting. It's time to make a play or nothing, and the play is made. Get the high ground, and he goes down. So what's nice with this build is that you can actually fight barbarians if they don't have armor. If they have armor, you have to land a few curses before you engage in the fight, but then they are slower, so that's okay. There, I see he is wearing the orange t-shirt, so I know he doesn't have a lot of PDR. I just sacrifice myself and then I go in. So then happens what happens all the time in the HR. You start a fight, it's going nice, and some guy comes in. Unfortunately for that guy who was absolutely beast out of his mind, he didn't know he was doing with a hybrid Warlock. Very, very nice gear for me this run. There is another Ranger fight. For some reason, everyone was playing Ranger that day. I don't know if it's a region thing or a time zone thing or a time of the day thing, but whenever I play this game at 5 AM, it's only druids and rangers in solos. And rogues also. A little bit of foreshadowing, but of course there are always the rogues in solo. Anyways, again, playing with doors, the ranger gets impatient, he pushes, and he's dead. It would work. Oh, yeah, by the way, the rope. Not scary at all. Rangers pushing me would work if I actually run a standard curse build, but I don't. I can tank a few hits from their spear. Anyways, rogues are a little bit annoying. Surely none of that happens in a normal game, right? Well, that was that. Demigod player, by the way. See, when you understand rogue behavior, you can just fight it always the same way, because they always do the same things and they always hide in the same spots in the same ways. And that's it for the game. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments. Like and subscribe if you would like to see more.